of the rim. Got it! Oh, the slam. Oh, using Curry way downtown. Oh, what a shot from Curry!
The 2024 NBA season has been fire so far, pretty much like we said it would be. There's already been a night in this season though that is genuinely one of the best I think I've ever seen in a regular campaign. Of course I can't possibly quantify this given how much data it entails, but just fly with me for a second. I know all of you don't keep up with every single thing on every single date, so I just wanted to make sure you didn't miss what happened on Friday the 27th of October. It offered an 11-game slate of various strength levels, some contending teams, likely tanking ones. It was all over the place. They chose to lead it with national games covering the Heat and Celtics rivalry, followed by the Kings and Warriors, two units who participated in grueling 7-game series barely 6 or 7 months ago. Out of the 11 matches aired, 10 of them finished under double digits, and the one that didn't was a really good and close game until Detroit pulled away in the middle of the fourth quarter. Adding to this, 8 of the matchups actually finished within 6 points. We need to dive a little deeper so you can truly see what created this unique night. The Cavaliers and Thunder were duking it out in Cleveland, which already had explosive potential given the usual Shea and Donovan Mitchell outburst, while also giving us a second look at Chet Holmgren. As expected, there was a Dawkins duel between the guards, finishing with 34 and 43 respectively. Meanwhile, Chet gave them absolute hell with 7 blocks. There was a slight chance he was about to post a triple-double including them. Alright, stats are cool, what about the finish? The Cavs led this game by 10 points with around 2.5 minutes remaining. Look at the goddamn lead tracker. Mitchell was booming, the game was practically over. Oh buddy, somebody's parlay got cooked. The Thunder responded with a furious run, punching holes in the perimeter defense, finding wide open threes to get him back into it. On top of that, Chet's last block came up extremely clutch after being fooled into fouling multiple times with this exact move. I thought it was a neat adjustment. OKC just escaped with a wicked momentum shift at the last second. Tough shit for the Land, who let an impressive win slip away while missing some key pieces. This game did not even come close to the ceiling of wild events on Friday, however. I caught the ending of Bulls Raptors, and I don't think I've ever seen two teams go harder in trying to lose a game. Initially, we jumped in, the Bulls were up by 17 points on the heel of a players only meeting after game 1 of the season. Seemed pretty cliche and way too convenient. We came back, and they were a hop, skip, and a step away from losing. I couldn't believe my eyes, but then again, I actually could. It's the Bulls. Anyway, just take a look at the play-by-play to get a glimpse of how utterly ridiculous it got down the stretch. The conclusion was mirrored by turnovers, missed free throws, bad fouls, and both teams essentially fumbling away a win that was in their palms. At the very end, Raptors up by 2, Alex Caruso did the most Alex Caruso thing ever by coming up with a clutch steal, then running the break correctly to end up wide open in the corner for a game-winning 3. I was actually happy for Chicago. I don't know what their plan was if they lost a game they were up 17 in after a day 1 players meeting. Absolutely insane work by both units. We kept clicking in and out of the Nets Mavs due to all the other tomfoolery taking place, causing us to mostly miss what'll end up contending for Luka's Game of the Year. Dallas spent a large chunk of the game time trailing despite the lead never getting past 7 points, whilst Luka became more and more difficult to guard. Cam Thomas was fighting back with his second straight 30-point game, yet seeing him get switched on to Doncic again and again just was not it. As the dust began to settle, he'd worked his way up to nearly 10 3-pointers, finishing 9 of 14, and some of the makes were certifiably unfair. There was nothing Brooklyn could have done outside of fully blocking the shots. The Mavs escaped with the W despite Kyrie not having a great night, and I desperately need single game production like Luka's here to be remembered when it's time to start voting on MVP. I'm through 3 insane finishes right now, which would probably qualify for a great game night on any given date. I am not close to finish though. The Rockets and Spurs were having a battle for Texas in Wembanyama's second game after he pretty much got frozen out at the end of the Dallas match. To add spice, Dylan Brooks was up to no good as usual before the game, saying when asked about Wemby, quote, "He's tall, that's pretty much it." Still not exactly sure what he gets out of this, given that he's not playing the Patrick Beverley character well at all, with the antics often overshadowing his on-court production, which has been pretty good this season. He got some nice contest on Wemby as well, save for the time he got scored on and pointed at in what was certainly retaliation. Anyway, this was another incredible game, and while Vic missed every three he took, the rest of what he did was efficient, including multiple alien level plays that the Rockets had no answer for, also including the one that looked so unrealistic in real time, everybody was sure it was a basket interference. He propelled San Antonio to an energizing win in the clutch, making up the second overtime game of the evening. Jazz Clippers nearly became the third, with electric scoring from both PG and Markkanen. George settled into the type of rhythm where he was hitting workout shots, which is always fun to watch. It all led up to maybe the most controversial moment of the night. First, huge shout out to Jordan Clarkson, who flat out gave LA a bucket in the clutch, proceeding to get right back on defense and lock Kawhi Leonard up of all people. This gave Westbrook the rebound, who, with little time remaining, chucked up a desperation shot as time expired. Kawhi then performed his second uncharacteristic act, showing emotion and falling to the floor. My best guess is he realized they had a timeout that could have been called to draw up a better play, or he saw Batum wide open, who could have received a pass and won the game. Whatever it was, I just thought it was funny Kawhi fell to his knees. I never thought I would see the day. The national games. Boston faced Miami in what felt as if it'd be a quick match given the Heat missing 3 rotation pieces. Of course, you'd only think that way if you didn't know anything about the Celtics, especially when it's against the Heat. Bam Adebayo made a mockery of Porzingis off the dribble. Kyle Lowry decided he wanted to hit threes. Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson took turns getting wide open off of screens. Even Drew Smith got in on the action, adding threes and D. The only thing that didn't happen for them was the Jimmy Butler explosion, because it's regular season Jimmy. Boston struggled to pull away until the end, largely thanks to another out-of-body experience by Derek White, who never stopped hustling on either end. They won this round, but it's pretty clear that there'll probably be another long chapter in this rivalry. That also applies to the Kings and Warriors, who Steph has added to the list of franchises he's hell-bent on routinely terrorizing until he hangs it up. Talk about torching a team in Game 7, signing their best player to your brand, then immediately picking up where you left off at the beginning of the next season. He dropped a rather easy 41-point masterclass, allowing the Warriors to keep their distance for most of the game. Then the Kings still found a way to make it entertaining toward the end with a fake comeback. The script simply mandated a close finish. Speaking of which, the Denver Nuggets spent most of their game against the jawless Grizzlies coasting, or at least that's how it appeared. Jokic nearly matched a career high in turnovers though, thanks to Memphis's pressure, which didn't stop him from throwing one of the more ridiculous alley-oops I've ever seen. Denver predictably came out on top in the end after some clutch shots, as it never truly felt like they were in danger despite the 4-point finish. Once again, as the script mandated. I don't know if the Knicks and Hawks ever quite became a rivalry. In any case, it didn't stop those two from joining in on the fun, as they also went down to the wire in what very easily could have morphed into yet another overtime game on the slate. That got nixed only thanks to a beautiful stop by Mitchell Robinson on a routine lob from Trey to Capella. Ending result, Knicks by 6. The Pistons, as mentioned earlier, extended their lead toward the end, which would fool somebody who didn't watch. This featured Jalen Duren adding another strong start to what hopefully is the breakout year. It looks like it. Then, to round things out, the Magic eked out a win in Portland at the end of the night by 5. The matchups, the scoring outputs, the finishes, the sequence of events. While I can't fairly say this was the greatest night in regular season history, I can definitely say it was up there and that you needed to either be there or hear about it. Just know, anytime I post this photo on Twitter, shit got real. Hopefully this is indicative of what we'll see going forward, as so far, I would say the 2024 NBA season is living up to expectations. What do you think though? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, be sure to hit the like button, sub, and hit the bell next to my name anytime you want notifications for when the next video drops. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.